Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase, pricing, and availability questions concerning this watch. Today, we are discussing one of the rarest timepieces ever created by Debethune of La Berson. Launched in 2012 and only made in 20 pieces total, this is the DB28 Tourbillon Deadbeat seconds. Now, the silver dial here was made in 15 pieces. There was a black dial version made in 5. Both versions combined, 20 examples ever made. The watch, in 45mm grade 5 titanium, that's the diameter, is 12.9 millimeters thick, and it features the broad Debethune lugs. There are several different sizes, but this is the 58mm full extension with 53mm lug-to-lug full compression, and then 26mm is the spacing between the lugs. Although the watch is large, it's also thin and very light. Made entirely of titanium and sapphire, it's very light on the wrist. It is a big watch, and you can see on my 16cm circumference wrist, it wears large. That said, it's not super thick, and you can see it's not tall on the wrist. The spring-loaded lugs are a patented Debethune feature, and they do help considerably with the ergonomics. So here's down the barrel, here's over the top, here's a distance, which is probably your best perspective, then here's your cuff shot. The strap's an interesting piece. It is a Debethune factory strap from the OEM supplier, Jean Rousseau of Paris, but it's made entirely of rubber. So if you want durability, long wearing duration, and then the ability to just clean it off easily without damaging sensitive natural materials, sweat, water, really nothing gets on this and cannot be taken off. It's also more durable than leather. It has a wonderful textile-style weave up top. Make no mistake, all of it is synthetic. The buckle, as often is the case with Debethune, is designed to echo the design of the lug profile. So at Debethune, they have separate buckles for separate case designs. You can see this one is polished grade 5 titanium, as is the case. So we have these airy, buttress-like prismatic floating lugs and a pin buckle designed to echo them. The lugs feature this little torpedo tip design at the edge. That's the last vestige of the original Debethune product, the DB1 chronograph of 2002. With the exception of a few of the early DB20 series watches, this little cabochon design, the ogival tip, has been present on every Debethune watch. The lugs are hinged at the middle of the case, and they are spring-loaded. You can see that the crown is a bullhead winder as a result. There'd be no place for it on the sides. It features double knurling. It is a screw down. The watch is 30 meters water resistant, but it is a particularly resilient 30 due to the presence of the screw down crown. But the main reason for that arrangement, a screw down crown on a 30-meter watch, is so that the lugs do not come into contact with it and stays secure. The bezel is very minimal. You can see it's barely there. Anecdotally, my experience in the watch industry over now tens of thousands of watches has been, short of some sort of carbon-diffused steel like zinc or Damasco's ice hardening, or the use of a full ceramic case or tungsten carbide, polished grade 5 titanium does a better job of hiding and resisting scratches than any other commonly used metal. Debethune makes its own cases, dials, and movements, so everything you're looking at here is a Debethune product. The dial outboard, you can see it is the suspended toroidal plane. It's got a little bit of an inward camber, and then there's a power reserve at the base. As you wind the watch, it goes from red to silver, and then as it discharges, it goes from silver back to red. Manual wind, twin barrels. They have a patented self-adjusting feature, so you cannot accidentally overwind them, even though this is a manual watch. And despite the fact that it has a deadbeat and a high-speed tourbillon, 4 days of power reserve. At center, we have a unique deadbeat second system. It uses 2 coaxial 14-karat gold escape wheels, 2 locking levers, and 4 pallet stones. And so the way this works is that those 2 levers rock back and forth continuously, alternately releasing one or the other wheel. There's a hairspring between them that acts as an accumulator that provides the energy to jump the seconds hand. This has its own separate drivetrain, so it doesn't slow down the watch to be driving this load and dump deadbeat second system. Deadbeats and very fine timekeeping are often mutually exclusive. Debethune finds a way around that. You might ask, why are these wheels made of 14-karat gold? Well, aside from the fact that it is beautiful and exotic, it is also a very low friction solution. Do you see any lubrication there? It reduces the amount of lubrication necessary to the bare minimum, even to the point of eliminating the need for lubrication in some instances. Here, it is a very, very light application because of the use of the gold. It is a functional grade of gold, 14 karat. Now, another interesting feature that you won't see on many debethune watches is the presence of a center seconds hand. That's not often seen on DB28s or any debethune models, to be honest. And then something you'll only find on the Deadbeat second watch is pull out the crown, stop seconds. A lot of people ask me, will the tourbillon continue forever? No, it won't. It'll keep oscillating a little bit, but it will eventually stop. But we have stop seconds here. Release the crown, and everything jumps back into action. The finishing is high horology. Cote de Bethune stripes, solarization of the barrel covers. The ratchet wheel teeth have been micro-beveled. All screw heads are mirror finished, and there's a mirror finished surface beneath the tourbillon to reflect more light onto it. The edges of the bridges have been mirror beveled, and then the substructure for the Deadbeat has been satinated on its top and beveled on its edge. So you are getting the fine finish here. The tourbillon is the world's lightest. It is 18/100ths of a gram, so 0.18 gram. It has 63 parts, and the lightest piece is actually measured in the 10,000th of a gram range. It is a double speed tourbillon, which means it makes a circuit every 30 seconds rather than every 1 minute, and it beats at 36,000 vibrations per hour. That's 5 hertz or 10 beats per second like a Zenith El Primero. So you have the 1 hertz escapement and the 5 hertz escapement. The higher speed of the oscillator and its period of travel is to improve its function as a wrist-borne timekeeper. Remember, tourbillons were not originally designed for that purpose. This one has been optimized for chronometry on the wrist. You can see it's a combination of silicon, which is that sort of iridescent ultralight blue. You can see the escape wheel is the most prominent example of that. Then there's blued titanium for the wheel, and then white gold for the masses on the wheel. So the tourbillon, the hairspring design, and the balance wheel itself all patented. The Deadbeat second, the floating lugs, and the self-adjusting barrels all patented. On the back, not a whole lot to see, but some people ask, so there it is. If you love this watch, and I can't imagine why you wouldn't, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.